We are the creators of reality. Those who have mastered perseverance, those who thrive despite attempts to thwart us, those who make magic at the root of the very trees they hung us from. We are the mountains and the rivers. We are the sun and the moon. We are sand and gems. We are the first and the final. We be big and small. We be light and dark. We be seasoned and youthful. We be sensual and sacred. Those gifted and divine. Those powerful and radical. Those vibrant and ancestral. We are the creators of reality. We are the Black Oasis. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Black Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Kaya Supreme, and this is the place where we lay it all down. Now, God works in mysterious ways, okay? I have to tell y'all, before I introduce the guests, I have to tell y'all how we met. So, it really does tickle me the way God just kind of moves things and aligns. First of all, Atlanta's small, okay? We're just going to say Atlanta. But the way that this happened, I just be laughing to myself sometimes if I think about it. It was Halloween. We were at a gathering. Shout out to Kenny Simmons and shout out to Effect Fitness. Shout out to She Fit. And we were at a function and, you know, people are there. It's a good time, good energy, good space and good games, right? And I'm just, you know, I see this young woman and automatically my first thought to her, I was like, oh, she with the shits. Like, she cool. You know what I mean? Like, just the way she was talking, the way she was, I don't even remember the game he was playing, but it was something to do with money. She says, like, you ain't got no money, you're not playing. It was just like, she kept it 100%. And so I was already just felt very comfortable in her presence. But then she started talking, started sharing, you know, just a little bit of information about herself. And then I thought about it and I realized, I know your mama. And so, you know, from that point on, and for me, you know, your family is family. And then I've seen on Instagram just the work that she does, the lives that she changes, the people that she touches, the gifts that she has. And she is a dedicated, disciplined, hardworking entrepreneur, mother. And it's just an honor to have her on the podcast. So without further ado, ladies, gentlemen, and non-gender conforming friends, the phenomenal, wonderful, divine, beautiful Inari Gates.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your words, Kaya. I really, really do. I really do. You always speak very highly of me, and I really do appreciate it. I do.
Of course.
Well, I guess I can introduce myself. My name is Inari
Yes.
Gates. I am 29 years old, mother of one son. His name is Noah. He's my word. I love him. Born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. And I am. First of all, I'm thankful for you reaching out to me again to ask me to be on the podcast. I'm trying to work on the arms. I struggle with, I do struggle with that. I'm trying to work on the arms, but I do appreciate you reaching out to me. Just simply asking me to be on the podcast. You know, sharing a little bit of my story. You know, a lot of people see me, but they don't really know a lot of my background, or you know, simply how I'm getting to the point that I am at. So I'm happy to share this moment with you, and I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share this moment, and I'm happy that it's with you, Kai. So I do appreciate you, and I thank you for reaching out to me.
Absolutely. So for people who do not know, you have the gifted fingers, you have gifted hands, you heal the women. Now, I'm just going to say this before I say what she does. There is a practice, right? There's a power that comes along with beauty, right? There's a power that comes along with beautification. There's a power that comes along with confidence. Right. And so for anybody who works in the beauty industry, anybody who works with taking people's image, taking the first impression that you have of a person and giving them their life back in that way, giving them their freedom, giving them their empowerment and their space is angel work. It's hard work to work with your hands. I did a few weaves and some braids in college, just trying to get a little extra money. Let me tell you, them knuckles, them hands, and then the energy. It's an energy exchange when you touch people's heads and all of that. And then to be a parent on top of that, it's just like, it is a blessing. So Inari is a braider, but specifically focuses on helping heal the women who have alopecia. Okay. If you go, please tell us what your Instagram is and tell people what your Instagram is so they can go see the work that you do, because there really are no words to describe the master that you are.
My Instagram name is underscore braids by Nari. You can also follow me on TikTok at underscore braids by Nari. And my Facebook name is Braids by Inari, Inari. So you can follow me on all social media platforms. My name is pretty much the same on everything except Facebook. You add an I in front of the Nari.
Amen. So how did you, number one, get into this calling, and get into this work, and then number two, how'd you know you were good at it?
Truthfully, okay, so I started dealing with, I've always dealt with like thin hair and stuff like that. Well, initially I started doing hair when I was like 11. My mom, she's a licensed cosmetologist. So I think it had a lot to do with that, but also just truthfully, I used to like want to have my hair done all the time. My mom used to be like, oh, so I'm like, okay, you know what? We can learn how to do it. She was busy, you know what I'm saying? So, and I know like doing hair and then she having to come home and do our hair on top of having to work all day. So it's like, okay, you know what? Let me try to learn. Then it was just, I think it was a hobby for me. A lot of people that I grew up with, we all did hair, and it's crazy because now we still do hair. I'm the only one that still focuses on braids, but then it was just something we did for fun. And then, I knew I could make money from it. I didn't look at it how I look at it now. I didn't view my business how I view it now. Simply, but at that time I knew that I wanted to do something different with braids. I knew I didn't want to be a regular braider. Like I always knew that and I felt that, but I didn't know that it would turn into this. Like
Yeah.
even now I still struggle with realizing like, okay, this is a little bit more than I thought it would ever be. People be asking me like, did you ever see yourself doing this? I'm like, I never seen myself doing this. And also I never picture myself being in this space, dealing with women, especially being that I feel like I don't necessarily have trauma with women, but that's where I struggle a lot. So to be in a field of that, it's a blessing and it's also teaching me so much. So in 2017, I was working at a shop. I did do like I was dealing with thinning, but I still wasn't like fully dealing with hair loss. And so around 2018, I went and worked at a salon with a young woman. And truthfully, it's not any beef, but I wish her well. But I definitely grew from that situation. I learned a lot at this salon, and not as much as hands on, but just being in the space. People would start to reach out to me about getting braiding because she was always booked. And so they would reach out to me and be like, hey, do you do this too? And, finally a girl reached out to me. I'm like, I want to try it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want it to be like, weird because you know how I can get with women. So I'm like, I don't want to try nothing. And, but then I'm like, so I even went to the lady. I'm like, this girl reached out to me, just a respect thing. I'm
Yeah.
very respectful. So
Yeah.
I went to her and I'm like, maybe I can do it just to try, and see. And so she was like, you should go for it. And so I did the lady's hair. It wasn't my best work, but she loved it. She flew in from Dallas, and to this day, she is still a client of mine. I don't see her all the time, but I see her. She's considered a regular for me for sure. So I did her hair, I posted it, and after that, I started to do it more and get a feel of it. But I don't think I was in the right space at that time to just really look at it and appreciate the gift that I have. I didn't appreciate it then. I was still, I did it for the money, but I was all over the place. I would counsel people, I was rushing through it, I was trying to get people in and out. Price wise, I feel like I was cheating myself, but also I don't feel like I was putting the work in to really go up on my prices. So at that time, I was really battling a lot, and I wasn't in a space, being in the salon. I wasn't really in the space that I felt like you know, it was okay, but I wasn't safe. It wasn't a safe space, and it wasn't meant for me to like grow in that space. It was just like a phase. I supposed to came, get what I supposed to get, and leave. And I knew, that I supposed to left that salon, but it's something. I think I was so comfortable. Like I had got free daycare finally. I'm like, dang, I got free daycare. Like I have to pay for this. I got $100 booth rent. Like I'm good. Like. But it was like no, and it's like I think God forced me out of that space because I wouldn't have left. Like it was just that I was comfortable there. That was the most money I had ever made doing braids. So, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to leave, but me leaving could have been the best thing, that ever happened for me. So I left there, and I didn't do it much when I left. I was in a bad space, simply because so much had happened, and I was just still trying to be loyal to people, and I didn't know. Now I didn't really know how to price it, because I kind of kept my prices similar because we was in the same space, and so people would come to me who couldn't get to her, but also that caused confusion. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they're coming to me not necessarily wanting to come to me. They're wanting to get their hair braided, but they really like her work. And all braiders, we're different. And so I realized then I was happy that I can kind of branch out and find my way with it. You know what I'm saying? And find my individuality with it, because all braiders are different. And I didn't want to, kind of be what someone else is. And then, people will bring you pictures of other people work, and stuff like, and I don't have an issue with that, but I just knew like I had to find my way from that. And so I did. I work from home, and I still work from home. I just enjoy work from home. I don't really prefer the salons. Not right now, just it comes with too much. But
Yeah.
I went, I came by myself. I stopped doing it for a minute. I didn't really do it, not because, and let me see. I didn't do it because I think I didn't want to. I was just so, I don't know if I was hurt from like the stuff that happened. Like I didn't really want to do any hair. But I definitely didn't want to do hair loss. So once I got back in my groove, I still had people that would reach out to me. And so I finally, I started to do it a little bit more. But I posted something and it went viral. And it was like Funny Marco had posted it, Snoop Dogg, somebody posted, like, it was a really bad time for me. So I'm like, oh my God, like, do I not supposed to be doing this? Like, I don't, I never had that happen with me posting stuff, and it put me in a bad space. So now I had to reach out to the lady, and I'm like, my client, I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I mean, I know she had to see it. It was everywhere. It was all on Facebook, like, and so after that, I'm like, I did want to stop, but I knew I couldn't stop, and so I started to, make sure I was protecting my clients. And, I had to move a little different from that situation. So I grew from that. And now where I'm at with my business, I'm in a very good space. I'm really particular about who I deal with. The service that I offer is very particular. And it's not a lot of people that do it. So I had to learn how to, like, price myself and make sure that I'm getting what I deserve. I have to also, it's hard. It's hard to balance it being a parent, because it takes so long. I don't really do a lot of heads per day, and I'm okay with that. But the time that it takes is it's a very precise skill, and it comes with a lot. So now where I'm at with my business, I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm very particular about who I deal with. Um, do they get on my nerves? Yes, they get on like that. It's dealing with women. They get on my nerves real bad. I'm not gonna lie, they get on my nerves. But they know I like, and I can be honest with them, let them know that. But they know I love them, and I am able to heal through my hands. I didn't appreciate the gift until like maybe these past 2 years. I really like realized like, okay, wait. You really doing something major. First of all, I'm glorifying God. I'm helping people. I'm making sure I'm changing confidence. It's like, I told my friend one day, I'm like, I wish I could put a camera at the door and like record people when they come in and like record them when they leave. It's like two different people. They
Mm.
might walk in and they like real timid, and then they walk out like, all right, bitch, I'm gonna call you later, nice meeting you, and you be like, golly, you just came in. So it's rewarding for me. It's rewarding for me. I enjoy, I do other braids, but it doesn't give me the fulfillment that dealing with like the hair loss clients do. They are very appreciative. Um, and I know, people appreciate braids, but when you do, I'm not gonna say it's different when when you're appreciated for your work. Like, people feel like braiders are disposable, because you can go to this person and get knotless, and you can go to that person and get this, but you can't go everywhere and get this service.
Yeah.
And so when people, it's a lot of amazing people that actually do this. A lot of people don't know, and I hope one day I can, I share the information sometimes, but give them the credit. definitely women that do this, but I do feel like everybody is one to one. You know, you are who you are, and then, you know, it's only gonna be one of me. Everybody has their own technique, but it's still not a service that is offered everywhere. You can't get it everywhere. A lot of my clients, they fly in, and it's so crazy because I don't really. A lot of my clients are from out of town. I don't really deal with a lot of people in Atlanta. That, and if they are here, you know, I do have a few clients that's like born and raised here, but a lot of my clients fly from out of town, and a lot of my clients are like people who've moved here, but like born and raised Atlanta. I don't really deal with a lot of clients that are from here. And truthfully, I'm not gonna say it's the price, but you know, I'm gonna get what I deserve.
Yeah.
So I price myself, and you know, I realize, you know, that my target audience is not the people around me, and I never tried to make it that. A lot of
Mm.
my clients, I've been having getting out of town clients from just working at salons, and you know, one of my first, like I just did her hair. I started doing her hair. She came from Tennessee. That was like my first out of town client in 2017. So my target audience has always been out of range. Like I knew that my audience was not going to be the people around me, and so versus, you know how you grow up, you be feeling like, you know, people around you support you and da da da. It's really not like that. And once I really grasped that and started to target other people, and then people who have hair loss, they talk. If they find somebody and they know somebody who has hair loss, they be like, girl, I know this girl. Even if they, you know, have never come to me, they'll show people. And so word travels a little bit faster when you do something particular. So I
Mm.
enjoy having that individuality. I enjoy being able to stand out, and I don't have to, you know, what's for me is for me, but I also put out the quality work. So, you know, I appreciate that people choose me, even if it's not a very offered service. It is other people that do it. So when people choose me, I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yes, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of Jesus, but I enjoy it. I do. I really do. Like I was telling my friend the other day, like it's it definitely can. Entrepreneurship is hard, and I think that people see the, you know, they care about the following, and you know, and
Mhm.
that it's so crazy. Like you know, I have a lot of followers, but I can go months. I can go a month without having, you know, having a lot of clients simply because I am not very cheap in my pricing. And so, you know, I'm having to learn now how to prioritize, and, you know when you're going to have these slower seasons, and also, you know, standing firm on my worth, because it's hard to stand firm on your worth when things get low. You know, people like to, you know, let me try to do this special and stuff. I've done those things and they don't work for me. It always leaves me feeling like worse than before I started. So it's like
Yeah.
I have to, you know, I have to learn how to manage these things. But entrepreneurship is not hard. It's not easy, and it's more heart and inside work than I think it is outside. And so just learning that, you know, I can put out good work and stuff, but my heart posture has to be in the right place to be able
Yes.
to really reap, you know, what I really want to get from the entrepreneurship. Like if you have the craft, you know, I feel like you can do what you need to do. But if the heart is not postured correctly, you're not gonna be able to fulfill the purpose God has for you. Because truthfully, it's His plan. I feel like that. You know, now in my life, you know, I'm moving off of His plan for me, and you know, when He tell me to move, I move. When He tell me to block a client, I gotta block you. Like I gotta leave. I gotta block you. And they, you know, people, you know, everybody's not gonna get that, and it's a little bit deeper. So I don't, and I can't try to make people understand it, and I'm learning it. So yeah, that's what I do.
It sounds good because honestly, this is the truth. As Black women, we get told and taught generation after generation to accept the bare minimum, to always be putting other people before ourselves, not to stand on business, not to have boundaries, to just be the backbone and the strongest workhorse and all that logic. And that's just, you're actually breaking that pattern. You're doing something different. And I know it's hard because there are a lot of emotions that come along with that. Guilt, just fear, I understand. Stand on your price list. Don't fold, don't waver, because again, at the end of the day, the work is the work, and you're putting way more into it. Even outside of the physical, the hard work that you're doing is something that comes along with that. And you have a life that you have to manage as well, right? So we have to pay people well. And if and it's my thing, I don't ask for no discount. If I've had cleaning companies and clean folk house. I've, done social media work for people. I'm not, I spend a lot of time giving away energy, and then
No.
look up later and you're in need and you don't have access to the resources because you've given away the gifts that God gave you to sustain yourself. So
Right.
to you, I know that you work hard and you do tedious work. I have a question though. You said that the post went viral. Are you saying that it went viral in a negative way? Your initial
Yes, it was
post?
a negative. Yes, it was a. So I used to post a lot of pictures. Now it's more videos, but it was like a before and a after of my client. Well, they took
Mm,
the before picture and like
oh,
circulated around, and so it was like it was a negative. It was a
got it.
very it was like it was months long. It's not. I'm not laughing, but it was like I could not believe. I could not believe. I'm
I
like,
mean, right? Because
it was
who
just
plays?
so random because I had been, and things like, and that's the thing. I think in that moment, um, I had to, I had to realize first of all, social media is not real. It's fake. It's just a lot of fake stuff that's going on. Half of these people don't know me, and as much as I got a lot of bad, I got so much more good from it. You know what I'm saying? Like I met so many people and I got so many clients off that. And that was around a time that I again was just getting back into, I wasn't feeling my groove. And so when I start to get back in it, it's like then I get this attack. So although I had this backlash, it was still people coming in like, oh my God, we need you. Can you please, like please, whatever I need to do, And so in that moment, I'm like, I had to realize, like, okay, all bad is not bad. All bad is not bad. It might have hurt a little bit, but once I
Yeah.
reached out to my client, she was older. I do. Now older women, they can get on your nerves sometimes. They who are they are who they are. They are
Hmm.
very stuck in their ways. But a lot of my older clients, they are really really sweet, and they are very accepting of their hair condition. And so when I call her, she was like, "Girl, I don't care about them people on the internet. I barely be on the internet." She had been going through. She like, I don't care about that. But thank you for reaching out to me to ensure that I would be okay if I see it. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't want to, but as the professional, I'm like, let me reach out to her because if she sees this, I want to get ahead of it. I don't want her to see this and then it's like, I'm not defending it. I can't defend every post I see. I can't. All I can do is report them at this point. But it was a very, it was a very negative viral. It was not positive.
But you have the cutest face covering. I wanted to tell you that. I don't know where
Oh,
you got it.
one of my clients got that. I forgot her name. She got that for me. One time she came to a party. Did her hair like twice in the sex, but they love to give me gifts. People gift me, and it's crazy with that. But she literally came like the second time I did her hair, and she bought me that. And I forgot who she said made it, but yeah, she was somebody who bought me that. And I've
Beautiful.
been taken care of. I've had it for a minute, probably since 2022, 2021.
So when women have hair, so this is a question that I have, right? Because um, we know about like perms, like the history of hair in our culture, and a lot of women. There are women who have like medical hair loss, right? As a result of maybe some of their experience when they were diagnosed with a symptom of another ailment. And then we also have women who have developed hair loss as a response to the hair care and the hair products that they've used, right? Like I myself have a burn, right? That's at the top. It's not super noticeable, but I know it's there just from when I was like 12, going in the bathroom trying to perm my hair, not wanting to ask for help or not wanting to go to a hair salon or whatever, and I burn myself, right? And so I know that there's a lot of women, and then of course aging, right? As women age, they experience hair loss, and their hair starts to fall out. My question is, you know, is there a way, or is there a way? Do you think women should, number one, be mindful of the things that they're putting on their hair for that reason? Are there things that you tell people to stay away from? And then number two, if there's a way that these women can ever recover hair follicles, um, health wise, diet wise, anything of that nature that might help us.
Well, a lot of hair loss Well, a lot of the clients that I deal with, a lot of their hair loss is more internal. It's
Okay.
medicine. I deal with a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people who have PCOS. I deal with a lot of women who take high blood pressure medicine. I deal with a lot of people who experience alopecia from like postpartum alopecia. Now
Mm-hmm.
every now and then, I do get people who have like tension alopecia, but a majority of my clients is like genetics. It's not, typically when you have hair loss, people think, oh, you got a bad perm or you have some tight braids. It's like it's 2024. We gotta let it go. Like,
Cool.
and so people don't, it's so many, like, I didn't realize how many ways you can lose your hair until just me started doing it, and then I started to ask people. And then I mean, I never finished, but I did a little program that I'm trying to finish that is like for like to be a hair loss practitioner. So in that program, you just learn about hair loss. So a lot of my clients deal with it for medication and stuff. And truthfully, I genuinely, I'm not a dermatologist or anything, but I don't see them having like full regrowth. Some people, you can look at, and it's so crazy. I'm not a professional, but I've been doing this for a minute. And also, again, I've did a little study in a program. I just never completed it. So you can kind of tell when dead people have dead follicles, and when they're going to dermatologists and stuff like that, they're not necessarily, they're just trying to get paid. So it's like, okay, they can go in, they can see it's dead. And truthfully, people who have hair loss, they're very vulnerable for like something to work. Like if you go tell them, like, even if I throw out like a hair growth oil right now, like it would probably do well. But I'm very particular about my brand. So I wouldn't just throw anything out there. But my clients, they want options. They want hair to regrow. And sometimes when they come in, they be like, I wish I can just get my hair braided a few times and now it's gonna grow back. And I be like, baby, it might not happen. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta be real about that. It's so deep in the black community, and a lot of it is internal. It's diet. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's little down to the diet. Like some people may have to have a whole alkaline diet or something just for their, like, it's really that deep for our
Yeah.
community. So I don't think a lot of my clients' hair is not, going to grow back. Truthfully, when they get the braids, it may make the hair where it is, no hair thicker. And sometimes I do see people who hair grows back simply because they're just letting it's able to breathe. I have
Mm-hmm.
clients who sleep with wigs on, women that don't even want to, expose their hair to their husbands. Like it's really deep. So it's like and truthfully, I try to be honest with them, because when they come, they be like, I've been going to the dermatologist and they pay $1,000 for shots and they going for months. And it's like, I'm doing your braids, even outside the braids, it's no growth. So basically at this point, they getting your money because they're gonna get it. If you go and you say you want your hair to grow and you got some money or you got some insurance and you can pay for it, they're gonna give you a treatment plan and they're gonna pay for it. And it's like, dang, it's that simple. So it's like a lot of my clients hair making grow in the area where they have hair, but in some of those like major areas, it's like it really is dead follicles. And they can put oil on it, they can do all that stuff, but at this point, it's to manage what they have. It's
Yeah.
not really to try to push now like postpartum from alopecia. I mean, postpartum alopecia. That's one that typically women can regrow. It may
Oh
be
yeah.
slow, but they can regrow it. But a lot of my clients are older, so they be like 80, and they be like, I just want my hair to grow back, and I be like, come on, and that's how I talk to them, and they like that, though. They appreciate that because people don't be honest with them. They tell them anything. It's like I told my friends, when you're dealing with like people hair or you're dealing with weight, it's very emotional for people, and so people know how to target that, and it becomes a like it's just
Damn.
it's get some, it really
Yeah.
do. And it's like, especially when they want to see results. I want my hair to grow. If I'm going to the gym, I want to get these results. So what can I do to market to these people who are looking for that? They want to feel better, and they'll do anything. Sometimes they'll do anything even if they don't see results. It's a mind thing. Like, I know I
Mm-hmm.
see results just because I'm paying this $1,000, but you're really not seeing results. So I don't feel like a lot of my clients, and just a lot of women with hair loss, period, it gets too far gone. It's something that you have to catch, early. if you start experiencing hair loss at 20, you can't wait to 70 to try to, be like, what, I'm 70 now. I just want to, try to see if I can grow it back. When you experience hair loss, you have to kind of try to get to the root of the problem then. A lot of people run to dermatologists, but, I suggest trichologists. They're more natural, they're more holistic, and just, I feel like trichologists, especially the ones I've seen, they're kind of upfront, about the expectations, what you should expect. I feel like dermatology is a little bit, they want the money.
Yeah.
So if you can come, all the trichologists I see, like they follow me and stuff, that's simply because of the braids. They are pretty open and upfront with people, and especially letting them know that hair loss is, it definitely can be internal, it definitely can be with diet, but sometimes it may not be able to be reversed. So
Hmm.
it's just about being upfront with them. So no, it's, some people feel like it can grow, people, I have to put it out there and let people know, even with my service, this is simply something to give you a cover up. It's not expected. I have to put the disclaimer out because people be like, oh, braids grow. And it's like, no, it's simply to give you a cover up. I make and grow your hair that you have, but it's not like you're going to take the braids down and your hair going to grow. I can't. And I don't like to lie because I think I didn't never lie about that, but I would let people think that, and I would never say anything. And so I had to start saying it so they could, because I don't want them to be like, I done had braids and my hair ain't grow back. What happened? So it's like, no, I'm gonna be upfront with you. The braids may not grow your hair back. You may see growth where you already have hair, and sometimes people do have sprouts. But I've never seen anyone's hair fully recover unless they had like postpartum alopecia. Sometimes cases of tension alopecia can be reversed. You do have those, but the more I do this, the younger the clients get. People have reached out with me with kids in like second grade that are experiencing like full alopecia, like hair, like literally, and you can have it all over. You can have it to the point where you don't have eyebrows, no skin hair. Like it's so many different levels of it. But a lot of people that I deal with is not. It's more medical, more genetic family history, and I just don't see them recovering from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you do some heavy lifting and some heavy work, managing just this specific field and clientele. How do you prioritize your self-care in the midst of all of this, right? Like, it's very
Ooh.
a lot of emotional work. How do you take care of yourself? How do you make sure that you're happy, healthy, whole? I know a lot of us Black women, we have to discover, like, that in itself is a journey, because we get taught the opposite, just grind, 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 and we don't necessarily take care of ourselves on the back end. What are some things that you have seen, learned, and do to make sure that you're in good condition to give the gift that you give?
Oh Jesus! I used to get drunk. I don't drink like
Me too.
I was like, Jesus, I used to
Me
just get
too.
drunk, just drunk, drunk, drunk. I did though. That was my coping
Yeah.
mechanism for a very long time. I was really drinking really, really heavy. Like
Yeah.
I ended up wrecking my car in a parking lot, leaving a party maybe like 2 years ago, maybe three, I think. And that really, like that was like my wake up call. Like, okay, you got to chill on the drinking. And that's when I realized, like, I got a problem. I think dealing with women, dealing with the law. I'm not realizing how much I'm dealing with just even being in contact with women, putting my hands in their head and how the transfer, that's when it clicked that I have to start doing self work.
Yeah.
Um, I got me a therapist. She was a sweet, I did stop going, but she was a sweet, very sweet lady. Um allowed me, she allowed me to get to a point of understanding who I was, understanding that what I do requires me to ensure that I'm okay. I can't show up for these women. I can't be who I'm called to be if I don't really like tap into myself. So like the last 2 years, my son went and stayed with his dad. That was a decision he kind of wanted to do, and I was kind of okay with it. But he left with his dad, and like I did a lot. I didn't work that much. I started going to the gym, and not realizing, I absolutely love going to the gym, but I didn't realize then that it would really, help with my mental health. I was I wasn't in a bad space, but I just wasn't happy. Like, and I was kind of tired of showing up, having to show up and be fake happy. I wasn't happy. Like, I don't want to keep
Mhm.
showing up. You dealing with people every day. They come in and get their hair done. Like, I don't feel like talking today. I just want to do braids and I want to go. I want you to leave, but it's like I people are traveling for me and I have to show up and I want them, to come in. I had a lady one time, she reached out, I did her hair and she left. She was like, I don't know. I just feel like today, I didn't get the person I seen online, and I'm like, well, first, I can't be that person every day. That's
Mhm.
not realistic to think that I'm that person. But
Yeah.
also, even though I did feel like, I do go off your energy. If you don't, you may not want to be that much talking, and I don't force that, but yeah, it also did make me realize like people are traveling for me. And I do want them to come and I want them to receive an experience. I don't want it to be
Yep.
like, oh, I'm just coming, you braided my hair, here you go, $300, have a good day. It's like, no, I want it to be something that, you remember. I want us to have good conversation. But, you know, you have to want that too. It takes two to tango. So I can't
Mhm.
do that, if you're not wanting to do that. So these past 2 years, I think now, even now, I'm still battling. I'm still dealing with it, dealing with a lot, just trying to really get myself grounded so that I can truly give my all in my business. Like, really show up and be who I know I'm supposed to be, show up and do what I know I'm supposed to do. But I don't want to, I know everything doesn't have to be perfect, but I do feel like you got to heal.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to heal the internal, especially when you're dealing with people, and especially when you're doing something so so precious of what I do. I have to be healed. I have to be whole. I don't have to be perfect, but I have to be honest. I have to respect my space. I have to respect the boundaries. I have to put up boundaries, and it's hard.
Yeah.
You might like right now. I can't work on the weekends. It's gonna be the summertime. My son out. So I got loyal clients. They're like, oh, the weekend. I'm like, I can't do that. I want to do that, but you have to respect the boundary. That's just where I'm at now. My business is not solidified. Sometimes it be all over the place. But at this point, it's like you gotta roll with me. I'm not imperfect. I mean, like I'm not a perfect person, so I'm just trying to learn and navigate. But the more I prioritize myself, I get my clientele shifts. You deal with when I'm not my best self, I deal with different type of people. But the more I started to put myself first and prioritize it, I get clients that don't mind it. I'm standing up for hours. You might get people that, well, I used to deal with a lot of people, they wouldn't want you to stop and take a break. I, I'm standing up for like 12 hours. Like, I can't stop. Like, you can stop and
Okay,
get
Brent.
some water. They be like, you hear it. So it's like, so I would just be like, you know what, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get that reaction out of people. But now it's like, look, when you book with me, it's a whole book. Like, you gotta sign and you gotta sign it and say yes and agree that you seen this because you know what to expect when you come to me. You know that, I'm a single parent, so this is what it is. Before you book, I work from home, and some people don't like work from home, but it works for me. I deal with a specific type of people. They don't have a lot of issues coming to my house. It's more private. Even in working on a suite, I don't have $500 a week for no suite. I just can't do that. It's 2024. It's time to be realistic. It's cute. Like, yeah, the suite's cute. But they is up there, they got to have 5 people in the suite to get it paid. I don't lie. I like to be by myself. I deal with
Yeah.
something that requires me to be alone. I do have my friend. Shout out to him. He's my assistant. He I comes through and helps me sometimes, but so for my piece, I do I don't necessarily have a set routine. Like, I'm still trying to find, I'm trying to find it, but I definitely have gotten to a space where I don't, my business was first for a minute, and just because I want to get money, I'm used to working every day. I can go weeks. I can go a week with probably working 2 days a week, and what's sad? I would probably complain about it, but when I sat back and really looked at it, it's like, okay, I'm not working as much. I'm still making as much. So what's the problem? Like, it's like in that free time now, I have that time to prioritize my peace. I go to church, you know what I'm saying? I love my church. Shout out to MC City. I've been going there for about a year. I love my church. That was something that, I didn't nobody forced me into, but I just realized, I wanted to get spiritually grounded in what I thought was best for me and not what anybody else had going on. And so I visited I like the church. I grew up Christian. We went to church. My mom used to go to church. We was in church every day for the Lord Jesus. So I didn't really, but now, finding a church that I feel like, speaks to me. I love my church. That's something I do, to keep myself grounded. The gym, I do love the gym. Just having peace, I don't travel as much and do stuff like that as much as I used to because I'm just right now I'm in a space of just being still and just learning that being still is okay. Because when you moving and stuff, I feel like you can't really deal with stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to sit down. And so
Yeah.
now I'm in I think my sitting down period is coming to an end, but I've been in like a sitting down, really facing those emotions. Yes, I still drink sometimes, but I don't drink nowhere near as much as I did. I don't, and truthfully, I don't enjoy it. It's not, I didn't enjoy it then, but it made me feel good temporarily until I woke
Yeah.
up and I was, and I was sick
I know.
or, so when I start going to the gym, it's like, you definitely can't try to drink because
No,
you
you
trying to get
cannot.
up at 5. I'm trying to go to the gym at 5. I got to get up at like, I'm going to be sick. So am I 100% like, no, I'm not disciplined as I need to be, but I'm heading in a direction. I know I'm heading in the right direction. I feel the shift. I see it. People be just coming on my stuff like, oh my God, I've been following you for years and you're really growing. Truthfully, I be needing that because, when sometimes I feel like the people around you may try to place you in a smaller space. They want to keep you back to, they want to hold you to this person. And it's like, I know I'm changing and you gonna know I'm changing too. Cause you gonna know that, you're gonna feel that, we're gonna get on one accord, or you gotta get out my space because I don't want to be held to a small space anymore. I'm not in that space. Yes, I used to have an attitude. Yes, I used to be disrespectful. Yes, I used to be rude. I was very unprofessional. I definitely used to be all those things. But as you can see now, God forgave me. My business is still doing good. You know what I'm saying? So people, you don't have to deal with me, but you won't place me in a small space I've outgrown. So, I'm working on truly having my peace, like finding what I can do, those little habits. I like to journal. I'm all over the place. I think I got ADD sometimes, just a little bit. Like I can sit down, I can like I have a bookshelf. I buy books. I used to read, and I start reading, and then I zone off, and I start writing in the book, and then I zone off, and so it's like trying to just really like focus. I think that's where
Yeah.
I'm at now. Just trying to focus, like learn how to focus, learn how to zone in and be able to lock in, and that's the hardest discipline. The other
It is
stuff,
hard.
it's hard. It's very hard. So yeah.
It's a juggling act that we'll be doing for the rest of our lives, because I'm not I grew up a very wild teenager and carry some of that lack of discipline, a lot of that lack of discipline well into my 30s. I'm still struggling with it in many ways. And it's easy to get, to look for instant gratification when we're struggling and feeling low. Some people drink, some people buy shoes, some people work, some people do all those things. Some people do everything. Some people buy shoes, drink, work, smoke, sex.
Okay.
And it's not that any of those one things are bad in moderation. It's the abuse of and the excess of, and that's usually a telltale sign that I don't like the quiet time. For me, it was being still was hard because when I was still, then the thoughts would come, and
hmm
and then the feelings would come along with the thoughts. And now I'm like, fuck that. Where's the Pinot Grigio at? Or where I'm
hmm
texting on my phone like where we who ready to go out? I'm always was one that was down to turn up and go out and gather and get a whole bunch of folks together just to have a good distraction night. But like you said, it's
hmm
not predictable, and you're damn sure not gonna go to the gym. Damn sure not gonna get to that gym, and that workout. My whole day, look, we after that workout, my whole day is I'm great, right? My endorphins are high. I done woke up and I have chose me first thing in the morning. it was a complete different reality. But I was sabotaging. I sabotaged my workout and my health for so long with that
Yeah,
tequila and that Hennessy and that wine. Those are my three.
I'm
My three.
telling you.
And I talk about, oh, I'm training and I'm going. I didn't, baby. I understand. So, with that being said, at Black Oasis, I ask everybody one final question. Everybody asks the same question. If you could go to sleep tomorrow and wake up and have one thing come true for Black people, what would it be? If you could make a wish, go to bed, wake up, and in the blink of an eye, it's just real reality. What is one wish that you would have come true for Black people?
Yeah, that's crazy. This a question I've been talking about. If I can have one thing for Black people, it would be more equality in the family. It would be
Mm,
more family. We lack family. It is bad, and it's. I talk to so many people, and it's like we all dealing with the same problems with our families or with just the community is so broken. It's so much jealousy, it's so much hatred, and it's so crazy because I talk to people daily, and they are dealing with the same issues, and it's like and it's so sad because a lot of people are growing up in single parent homes. Either they don't have their mom or they don't have a dad. A lot of us are, recovering from emotionally immature family members and trying to navigate through life without having the proper foundation, because I do feel like generations and, I feel like that plays a part in who you are. Feel like that plays a part in your bloodline and, that makes up your identity. And so, we're so broken and it's really sad. The man is estranged from the woman, the sons, the women and the daughters. The relationships are like it's toxic. And
yeah.
when you look at, like, my friends just talking about, like, when you look at white the white community, they get married at 21 and they have a kids. They have this foundation. I'm not saying marriage and everything is for everybody, but they care about family, and we could do so much if we were together than we can get done apart. And it's like, at this point, we're fighting against each other, and it's almost weird. Like, it's like a battle of the men and the women. Like, it's
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 very weird.
crazy. Like, it's a battle, and I'm like, I'm so tired of seeing it. Every time I see the podcast, I scroll real hard, but like, I don't want to see it
I don't
because
want to hear it.
it's actually, and I feel like at this point, everybody got to do what's best for them. But we need more equality in our families. Like, the family is so broken. The Black family, all the broken homes. I love my son to death. I don't judge people, who have multiple kids. But I mean, it's time to be realistic. We have to stop laying down doing that. Like,
Mhm.
we gotta be real. Yes, we love Poo Poo, we love Kiki, we love them. We do, we love them, we love them. But we got to be real. Like, okay, Poo Poo, you struggling. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. We lack honesty in the Black community. You can't be real with each other. Like, I don't really have a lot of, you know, like, childhood friends that I still kick it with and stuff like that. A lot of people I deal with now are people I've met in my adulthood, but it's so hard to be honest, with people. They don't respect the honesty. And then it's like, oh, well, it ain't what you said, it's how you said it. It's like, okay, I said it as nice as I could at this point. It's just, it's not the way I'm saying it that you're misinterpreting. It's the fact that it's the truth and it hurts.
Yeah.
We have to
Mhm.
be, it's time to hold people accountable. Like, it's time to hold people accountable. Like, having all the kids, the family, the dynamic of the family, like, it's so sad. Like, I'm not like, that's why I'm laughing, because I talk about this with people daily, and just simply, again, because I do hair, and then just, friends of mine, it's like, dang, are we all living the same life? Like, what is it? Like, everything is so, social media, everybody want to take a picture. Let's take a picture. We happy family, we're gonna get on the internet. But behind closed doors, y'all ain't talk. We ain't seen each other. Like, I don't. At this point, I don't. You got to worry about. You got to worry about you and your household. And it's sad. That's sad. You know, people
Yeah.
they getting thrown out. Nobody's able to get that to the guy. I know so many people credit messed up. We trying to recover. You get 18 and you gotta go figure it out. You gotta go get this. You gotta get like we're the only community that set our kids up for failure. And
Yeah.
it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Because well, my mama didn't set me up. It's like, okay, so that's why you should want to do better for your kid. Like so now it's like God pulling people out the family to come to the front line, and He must have pulled me out because I don't know why, but it's like somebody got to break it. It's time to break it,
Yeah.
and somebody got to speak on it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be
Yeah.
sad. We might not talk, but the black community is so, and it's not like it's everybody I talk to literally is living the same family life, the same family dynamic. Nobody don't want to help this person because they don't want this person to get ahead of them whole time. If we help each other, we can all be ahead. They don't think about that. It's sad. It's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad. So
And
yeah, the
I think.
black.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, that's it.
I just think the fact that you telling me that you and your friends are talking about it gives me peace and gives me confirmation, right? Because that's how these revolutions start. It's just the idea. And the fact that people are identifying that something's not right, I feel like we are going to start to see with not our generation, maybe not even the one directly behind us, but our kids, the babies, that they'll be better. We are coming from a very long history of intentional disruption in our family dynamic. We Black people have been intentionally disrupted systematically. People hate talking about slavery. I don't give a damn. From slavery to food stamps, crack epidemic, everything that the government has had their hands on has been intentionally structured to make sure that we don't work together, that we are wasting our time fighting amongst ourselves. And even in social media algorithms, I like that you brought that point. I don't look at them. Anytime I see anything foolish talking about, uh, Black men and women not getting along, I don't participate. And I also make sure that I do my best to affirm and love the Black men in my life. But at the same time, in my family dynamic, I have had to have boundaries as well, right? Because emotional authenticity is required, emotional wellness is required. I'm not saying I don't want to have relationship, but I'm saying I don't want to have relationships like this, and we need help.
All right. Yep.
Until we actually are everybody's ready to surrender and get some help to create a relationship dynamic that's not based on title, because it doesn't matter about what the title of your role is in my life,
Yes.
you do. See, you could be a president of the United States and still ain't not be nothing and still be a destructive force in this country. Just because you have the title president doesn't mean that the work you do is presidential. You can have the title mother or father or brother or sister, and it doesn't mean that the behavior that you manifest in that relationship is what aligns with that title. It's just what you are.
Yep.
So I have a standard of how and it's me too, right? Because trust, it's everybody. Not only do
Yeah.
I see my toxic stuff and my fears, insecurities, worries, stuff that got planted at childhood, you know what I'm saying? That stuff projects onto the people around me. It's my responsibility to do that work and heal that work so I don't continue to emotionally abuse people. But it's also another person's responsibility for when I tell them, hey, when you do this, this is how it makes me feel. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to dismiss this relationship, but if you're not willing to do nothing different, I can't continue to participate in it either. And that's fine too.
Yep.
Fine too. So I hear what you're saying. I wish the same daggone thing. And I believe it's going to happen because we're talking about it, because people are doing the work. Like you said, people are realizing there's a problem. People are going to therapy. People are working out, eating right. It's happening. It has to get worse before it gets better because that's the motivation. It has to
Yep.
be to make you move. So I think we're doing it. I think it's gonna happen. I think as long as if each person worry about their damn self and do their work and tries to do the best to reflect God in society in the places that they go, then we're gonna be in good condition. Be in good
Yep.
condition. What you eat don't make me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure what I eat is gonna be good to go through and come
That's
on out.
right.
So thank you so much for coming on here because
No
you know
problem.
this is it requires vulnerability, right? Talking and sharing and being open, and then your transparency, your work ethic. I mean, like you already took time out your day, what I'm saying, to make this happen, and you're just so down to earth and relatable,
Thank you,
and
Kaya.
you have such an infinite wisdom. I mean, it just oozes out of you, and
Thank you.
and you're a healer. You know, whether you know it or not, from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes, you're a healer from the way that you heal people's self-image and you heal their confidence and and heal their hearts. But at the same time, I'm now understand that you're walking in that emotional healing process too, and holding folks accountable to make sure that they show up. If they're gonna be in, listen, if you're gonna be in my circle, we like it clean over here. That's like me cleaning my whole house, and you come in with dirty shoes and think you're allowed to just walk around wherever you want.
Yep.
We're not rocking like that.
It's time for boundaries. It's time for it. It's time.
It's been time, but at least
Yeah.
we're learning the tools, and it's a luxury for us to be able to even, because our ancestors weren't even allowed to cry. They weren't
Right.
even they weren't even allowed to express them or think about how they feel. That's what my mama told me on Mother's Day. She was like, in my day and age, you just try to make money. You just try to make money and survive. Wasn't no feelings, no narcissist this and toxic that. She was wasn't none of that.
Mhm.
But now, but she sees it too, and she's just like,
Mhm.
but there's value in that. And she's like, love yourself. And that meant the world. So you continue to love yourself. You continue to change the world everywhere you go. And just, thanks for being you and thanks for being on here. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Kaya. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you everybody for listening to Black Oasis. Make sure you follow Inari on all her social media platforms.
Yes, thank you. Follow me, Braids by Nari underscore Braids by Nari on pretty much everything.
Absolutely. You heard it. And I'll make sure that it's right there at the bottom of the screen so y'all won't have no confusion. And, send her some love, send her some affirmations. We want to share the love. If you saw this episode, you was like, you know what? She's dope. I really felt what she was saying. Let her know. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to stop there. You don't just consume and give, consume and give. So thank you everybody for listening to Black Oasis, watching Black Oasis, continue to support. And until next time, stay black and lucky you because you don't have a choice.
Have a good one.